Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our series in features and benefits of PaperCut. Today, we're going to be focusing on security as it relates to PaperCut and how it can increase your security posture in your organization around printing and scanning. So, most people know that PaperCut has the ability to do the secure print element, which holds the job until a user walks up to a copier, one of the many copiers you might have in your organizations, and with either a PIN code or with a badge ID that you use to get into your building, they then would see their jobs at that machine and be able to release them when they're in front of the machine, thus eliminating some of the security challenges that we hear from people of that might print payroll or they might print checks or things of that nature that might be more sensitive. So in this case, I'm going to just showcase that real quickly because this is a pretty commonly known feature of PaperCut. And then we're going to dig into some of the other aspects of PaperCut that lend itself to building security in your environment. So in this case, we're going to print to our print anywhere queue, which is our secure print queue. And when we send the job, as the administrator, we can see as jobs come into the system in the real-time activity, it'll say that it's holding a job for me and what the username is. Of course, it's my username, so there it's saying holding the job. If I then go remotely to the copier, in this case, a Canon copier, could be any manufacturer again, because PaperCut is vendor agnostic. Walk to that copier. In this case, I'm going to type in my PIN code since I'm not in front of the copier to use my badge ID. When I log in, I'm going to see my job or jobs if I'd sent multiples. It'll show me in the print release area the name of the job. And so if I sent the wrong job or I sent too many sets of that job, I could delete it and not have excessive prints come out of the machine. So that's the secure aspect of it. The other thing that's commonly overlooked with PaperCut is that obviously if I log in with a different user, I should not see my print jobs. But one of the features that PaperCut allows, so when I log in with this user, again, they do not see my jobs. One of the things that PaperCut does allow is for environments where users might share jobs, or if there's a case where there's an administrative assistant for the C-suite, or in the case of a law firm, a lot of times the legal assistants, they might need to be able to release jobs on behalf of the attorney, or just be able to release the jobs on behalf of somebody else in your department. In this example, I'm going to show logging in with another user that does have access to my job. This is called delegated users. So this user will see my job when they log in. So again, I'm not logged in as myself. I'm logged in as Chris in this case. Chris will see my jobs and it will be notated as my username in this example. So that's, of course, a very well-known capability of PaperCut, the ability to do the secure print, and then a lesser well-known feature of what's called delegated access that can be very beneficial in some organizations. Think hybrid workers where somebody might print from home securely. Somebody in the office can then release the job without having to know that user's PIN code. They can use their PIN code to release the job. But one of the other elements that a lot of people overlook in PaperCut is the logging feature. So when I go into the logs here, I can see the name of the job. So if it was a sensitive job like payroll or a price list or a client list, and maybe somebody left the organization on bad terms, maybe I want to look and see what that user might have printed before they left. I can do all kinds of filtering here to say, what did Matt print over the last 30 days? Or let me make sure that nobody printed payroll, that shouldn't have printed payroll, that had access to it. And then another feature that I'm showcasing here is off by default with PaperCut, but this is called print archiving. What print archiving does, it actually saves an image of that job that was printed. So if somebody was smart enough to rename the job so that the document name is not very easy to figure out, I could also turn on print archiving in extreme cases where it will hold the actual image of the job. One of the things over the years when I've shown this feature of PaperCut that people have asked is, well, that's great and all, but what about scan archiving? Can I archive the scan images as well? And PaperCut about a year and a half ago did give us that ability as well to be able to archive scan jobs. So in my case, most of the time I'm scanning a blank page. So that's what's going to be the case in this one. If I go to click this PDF, it's going to be a blank page. But in the real world, if you need the ability to do scan archiving, PaperCut does unlock that as well. So love to talk to you more about your security initiatives in your organizations and how PaperCut might be able to assist with both print security and scan security in your specific environment. Happy to share a live demo with you. Please reach out to us if you have any questions.